All right. Today we are going to do all of my English classes from the other day. So we have everything ranging from beginning to advance, and these are the notes from my English class. So, oh boy, I'm already blurry. We're already getting off to a bad start here. Okay, so it fixed itself, thank goodness. Okay, so let's get started with a. This is from a beginner class that I had. And first of all, if you're watching this live with me and you have any questions, then I encourage you to ask those questions in the comments. And if I see them, I will be happy to answer them for you. All right, so let's get started. When I have a beginning class, I usually like to start with the same exercise every time because it's a way of practicing making negatives and questions in all different verb tenses in the past, in the present, and in the future. So, usually, what we do is we start with these three sentences that you can see on the screen. You can read along with me here. Yesterday was Wednesday, March 13th. And today is Thursday, March 14th. And tomorrow will be Friday, March 15th. Now, what we'll do is we will go back to sentence number one. Okay. Now, sentence number one is yesterday was Wednesday, March 13th. Well, I have 113th here. Let me change that. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question about number one. So this will be testing your listening. Okay. So listen very carefully as I ask you a question about number one. Was yesterday Monday? Was yesterday Monday? Was yesterday Monday, March 13th? Was yesterday Monday, March 13th? Now, is the answer to that question yes or no? So, how do you make a no statement? Let's answer no to the question. No. No, yesterday. No, yesterday was not. No, yesterday wasn't. No, yesterday wasn't March 13th. No, yesterday wasn't Monday, March 13th. No, yesterday wasn't Monday, March 13th. Let's see. Mikhail Livanskaya says no, but you have to give the full answer, Mikhail. You have to say, no, yesterday wasn't. No, yesterday wasn't Monday, March 13th. You have to practice saying the whole thing to improve your fluency. No, yesterday wasn't Wednesday, March 13th. So we have to ask a what day yesterday question. How do you make that question? What day was? What day was yesterday? What day was yesterday? And the correct answer is Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday, March 13th. Yesterday was Wednesday, March 13th. Now, my student, when we were doing this the other day, she made some mistakes. And the first mistake we can see here is what day it was yesterday. What day it was yesterday. Can you identify the problem with that question? What day it was yesterday? We have it and day are representing the same thing. Okay, so you can say what day was yesterday or what day was it if you want, but you can't say both of them. Now in her question, I'm just looking at what we have written here. Oh, no, that's okay. All right, so let's move on to number two. We have today is Thursday, March 14th. So that is the correct answer. That is the truth. Okay, but now let's make a question with, let's say Sunday. Sunday. Well, actually, I have Monday here, so let's use Monday. How will you ask me today, Monday? How do you make that question? Today, Monday? Is today Monday? Is today Monday? Is today Monday? No. How will you answer no? No, today. No, today is not. No, today's not. No, today isn't. No, today isn't Monday. No, today isn't Monday. Now, how do you make a what day question? What day today? What day? What day is today? What day is today? What day is today? What day is today? And the answer is what? Thursday. Thursday. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, March 14th. Okay, let's move on to number 3. So now we're going to ask about the future. We have tomorrow will be Friday, March 15th. Now, how will you make the question tomorrow Monday? How will you ask me tomorrow Monday? How do you do that? Will tomorrow be? This is the question form. The question form. Will tomorrow be? Will tomorrow be Monday? Will tomorrow be Monday? Will tomorrow be Monday, March 15th? No. How do you answer no? No, tomorrow. No, tomorrow will not. No, tomorrow will not be. No, tomorrow won't be. Won't be. Won't be. No, tomorrow won't be. No, tomorrow won't be Monday, March 15th. No, tomorrow won't be Monday, March 15th. Okay, now how do you make a what day tomorrow be question? How do you do that? What day? What day will? What day will tomorrow? What day will tomorrow be? What day will tomorrow be? What day will tomorrow be? And the answer is Friday. Tomorrow will be, 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 tomorrow will be Friday, March 15th. Okay. Now we had a little bit of a problem. With the pronunciation, the difference between the pronunciation of Tuesday and Thursday. And you may think, oh, how could there be a problem? Because they seem like very different words. But a lot of people, really, the really big difference is the vowel sound. So when you're saying Tuesday, watch my lips. Tuesday is like you're giving a kiss. Mwah. Tuesday. You really have to move your lips when you say Tuesday. But when you say Thursday, you don't really. Thursday. See, you don't move your lips. When you say Tuesday, number 1, Tuesday, you have to give a kiss. Tuesday. Tuesday. But when you say Thursday, nothing. Thursday. No kiss. No kissing on Thursday. Only kiss on Tuesday. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that's kind of a warm-up that we usually do with beginner classes. Always the same. It's just that the dates change. And then we just started practicing doing some basic sentences. So I started here with, she will visit clients tomorrow. She will visit clients tomorrow. Can you repeat that? She will visit clients tomorrow. And then you can make a contraction with she will. She'll. She'll visit. Just one second. We've only been going 10 minutes. I'm already losing my voice. She'll visit clients tomorrow. She'll visit clients tomorrow. She'll visit clients tomorrow. How would you make a yes-no question with she'll visit clients tomorrow? She'll visit clients tomorrow. This is just like tomorrow will be Friday. Will tomorrow be? Will she visit? Will she visit? Will she visit clients tomorrow? Will she visit clients tomorrow? How would you answer no to that question? Will she visit clients tomorrow? Will she? Will she visit? Will she visit clients? Will she visit clients tomorrow? Answer no to that question. No. No, she. No, she will. No, she will not. No, she will not. Just like tomorrow will not be Sunday. She will not visit. She will not visit. She won't visit. She won't visit clients tomorrow. She won't visit clients tomorrow. Will she visit clients tomorrow? No, she won't visit clients tomorrow. Okay. Let's make a when visit clients. Mikhail says, won't she visit? What's the difference between will she visit? Let's write that. Since you ask, let's write that up. Let me just figure out how to do this. Okay. So Mikhail says, won't she visit? So let's put the two questions. Will she visit? That's one. Can I? Okay, here's one. I have to write another one up here. And won't she visit? Okay. Now these are both questions, but what is the difference between asking, will she visit clients tomorrow and won't she visit clients tomorrow? The second one is a negative question. So you ask this question, just one second. I don't know what's happening with my voice today. The second one, won't she visit clients? You ask this question because you think probably she will, or you have an expectation that she will. So mostly you would ask, will she visit clients? You ask, won't she visit when there's something wrong? Like, oh, I thought she's visiting clients. Won't she visit clients? Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, so that's a question, won't she? But if you answer no, then you have to give the negative answer, she won't, she will not. No, she won't. So the question, if maybe that's what you're asking, won't she visit? That's the question form. But we want to give an answer, so we say she will not. She won't. She won't visit clients tomorrow. She will not visit clients tomorrow. No, she won't visit clients tomorrow. How will you make a when question? When? When will she? When'll she? When'll she visit clients? When will she visit clients? When will she visit clients? When'll she visit clients? Okay, and let's see. We answered next week. Next week. Now, the person I was doing the class with, she wanted to say the next week. So when she answered, she said she will visit clients the next week. That's not wrong. It's not wrong to say the next week if you want. That's very common for people who speak Spanish to say the next week. She will visit clients the next week. And that's okay in English, you can say that. But if you look, you can see here that I put the next week, you maybe will use 3% of the time. And next week is more like 97% of the time. The next week is special. The word the makes something special. The next week means it's a special next week for some reason. Maybe somebody doesn't understand. Somebody is confused about the time, and you say, no, the next week. It's very strong to say the next week. Normally, you only say next week. Okay, so we have she will visit clients next week. That is our answer. All right, let's try another sentence, but before, let me just find something here. Where is it? Oh no. I'm just looking for, I haven't done a live class in a while, and I've forgotten how to do everything. So now I'm just looking for, I don't know. Okay, well, I have to take a 1 minute break. I will return in 1 minute. All right, sorry about that. We're back. Let's keep going here. So let's start with a new sentence, which is, he works hard every day. He works hard every day. He works hard every day. How will you make a yes-no question, a basic question, with that sentence? He works hard every day. Does he? Or does he? Does he work? Does he work hard? Does he work hard every day? Does he work hard every day? And how would you answer no? How would you answer no to that? No, he. No, he does not. No, he doesn't. No, he. No, he. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't work hard. No, he doesn't work hard every day. Let's say, but tomorrow work hard. We'll use will. But tomorrow work hard. But tomorrow he will. But tomorrow he will work. But tomorrow he will work hard. Now let's say the two sentences together. No, he doesn't work hard every day, but tomorrow he'll work hard. He will work hard. He'll work. He'll work hard. Tomorrow he'll work hard. He doesn't work hard every day, but tomorrow he'll work hard. Okay, now we have our sentence, he will work hard tomorrow. He will work hard. He'll work hard tomorrow. How would you make a basic yes-no question with that sentence? Will he? Will he? Will he work hard? Will he work hard? Will he work hard tomorrow? Will he work hard tomorrow? Will he work hard tomorrow? Let's say tomorrow, no. How will you answer? Work hard tomorrow? No. No, he. No, he. No, he won't. No, he won't work hard. No, he won't work hard tomorrow. No, he won't work hard tomorrow. Let's say, but yesterday, work hard. He won't work hard tomorrow, but he worked hard yesterday. He worked hard, but he worked hard, but he worked hard, but he worked hard yesterday. But he worked hard yesterday. He won't work hard tomorrow, but he worked hard yesterday. He won't work hard tomorrow, but he worked hard yesterday. Okay, let's see. Is that the end of that one? Okay, so that's let's try a new example. We have, they read books in the evening. They read books in the evening. They read books in the evening. Just repeat that. They read books in the evening. How will you ask? How will you ask a yes/no question with that sentence? Do they? Do they read? Do they read books? Do they read books in the evening? Do they read books in the evening? And how would you answer no? No, they. No, they don't. No, they don't read. No, they don't read books in the evening. No, they don't read books in the evening. Now, let's say, but this weekend, future weekend, read books. But they will read books, but they will read books this weekend. They don't read books in the evening, but they will read books this weekend. So we have they will read books. They'll read books. They'll read books. They'll read books this weekend. They don't read books in the evening, but they'll read books this weekend. Okay, now our new sentence is they will read books this weekend. They will read books this weekend. How will you make a yes/no question with this sentence? They will read books this weekend. Will they? Will they read books? Will they read books this weekend? Will they read books this weekend? And let's answer no to that question. No. No, they won't. No, they won't read. No, they won't read. No, they will not read. No, they won't read. They will not read books this weekend. No, they won't read books this weekend. Okay. I think, well, let's do these numbers here. Okay. What is this top number here? And the first number that you see. Let's see. Can I? No, I can't. I can't figure out how to do it. It's 100. Okay. What is the next number? 40. So we have 140. 140. 140. Let's just do all the 140s. So we have 140, and then what is the next number? 141. Next number, 142. Next number, 143. 144. 145. 146. 147. 148. 149. Great. Okay. Now, that was one class. Okay, this is a new class. We're starting a new class here. And this is more of an advanced class. Okay, but don't worry if you're not advanced. We can go slowly. If you're watching this with me, you could definitely ask questions as we go. Okay, but let's just call this advanced English. Okay, all right. So let's start with the sentence, which is, she postponed the visit until Saturday. She postponed the visit until Saturday. She postponed the visit until Saturday. Now, if you speak a Latin language, like maybe Italian or Spanish or French, you probably could easily understand the word postpone. Okay, but if you don't know postpone, it's like delay, or it's like reschedule, or make for a later time. Postpone. She postponed the visit until Saturday. So originally the visit was Friday or Thursday, and she's changing it. She's changing the visit to Saturday. Let's see. Mikhail says 149. Okay, yeah, you're right, 149. I thought maybe you were trying to tell me something. Like you missed 149, but it's there. Okay, what do you mean by that? Okay, so we have she postponed the visit until Saturday. Now, it's perfectly fine to say postpone in English, just like you could in other in Romance languages. But we have our own special word for postpone, which is put off. It's a phrasal verb. Put off. Let's change the sentence. Let's use the phrasal verb put off. How will you change this sentence? The original sentence is she postponed the visit until Saturday. Let's use the phrasal verb put off, which means the same thing. She put off. She put off the visit. She put off the visit until Saturday. She put off the visit until Saturday. Now, the student said, "Oh, I'm so confused. Is that in the present or the past or the future?" Put is an irregular verb. It's always put, 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 put. So every form is put. But if it had been in the present, there would have been an S. It would have been she puts off. So this is how we know it's in the past, because there's no S. It's not puts off, it's put off. So we know it's in the past. She put off the visit until Saturday. Now, this is a separable phrasal verb. You can take the object and you can put it inside the verb. So let's do the inside position. Let's say she put the visit off. She put the visit off until Saturday. She put the visit off until Saturday. How would you make a yes-no question with that sentence? She put the visit off until Saturday. Did she? Did she put the visit? Did she put the visit off? Did she put the visit off until Saturday? Let's answer no. How will you tell me no? No, she. No, she didn't. No, she didn't put off. No, she didn't put off the visit. No, she didn't put off the visit until Saturday. No, she didn't put off the visit until Saturday. Okay. Now let's make a when until question. So if you're looking at the screen, you can see it's when ... until. Okay. Not until when, but when ... until. So this is when did she put the visit off? When did she put the visit off until? When did she put the visit off until? It's okay if you want to say until when did she put off the visit, but most people probably wouldn't say it like that. Most people will probably say, when did she put the visit off until? Okay, now we're doing reported speech for this exercise. And if you have a verb in the simple past, in reported speech, you have to change it to past perfect. You have to change it to past perfect. So if we add, he asked us. He asked us when. He asked us when she had put the visit off until. This is the reported speech version of the question. It's complicated, and if you are confused about something, then please just ask a question in the comments, and I will be happy to explain it further. But unless you ask, I'm just going to keep going, and we'll just imagine that you're familiar with how to do reported speech, unless somebody speaks up. Okay? So let's try another example. Here's a new sentence, which is, he will review the results. He will review the results with his boss. With his boss. With his boss. He will review. He'll review the results with his boss. He'll review the results with his boss. He'll review the results with his boss. Okay, now it's okay to use review here. That's perfectly fine. But a lot of times we will use the phrasal verb look over, which means review or examine. Look over. Let's change this sentence using look over. So the original sentence is, he will review the results with his boss. But let's use the phrasal verb look over. He will look over. He'll look over the results. He'll look over the results with his boss. He'll look over the results with his boss. How would you make a yes-no question? How will you make a yes-no question with that sentence? Mikhail has made an example where he says he will review the results for his boss. What's the difference between saying review the results with his boss and for his boss? If you say with his boss, the two people are doing the action together. But if you say for his boss, it sounds like he's doing a favor for his boss. He's doing a job, and his boss will receive the benefit. So that's a little word, for or with, but it changes everything. It changes the entire idea. So we have he will look over the results with his boss. Okay, that means examine or review, something like that. And this is a separable phrasal verb. So can you try to take the object and put it inside the verb? How will you do the inside position with he'll look over the results? Do the inside position. He'll look the results over. Put the object inside the verb. He'll look the results over. He'll look the results over with his boss. With his boss. He'll look the results over with his boss. How would you make a yes-no question with that sentence? Let's make a yes-no question. He will look over the results with his boss. Will he? Will he? Will he look? Will he look the results over with his boss? Will he look the results over with his boss? Let's answer no. How will you tell me no? No, he will not. No, he won't. No, he. No, he. No, he. No, he won't. No, he will not. No, he won't. No, he won't look the results over with his boss. Okay, now let's make since we said no, we answered no. No, he won't look the results over with his boss. Let's make a who ... with question. You can see here on the screen how this should look. Okay, so we start with the question word who, and we're going to finish our question with the word with. Who will he? Who will he look? Who will he look the results over? Who will he look the results over with? It's very strange and very different from most languages, but that's the most typical way to do it. Who will he look the results over with? Now, some people will tell you that's wrong, but that's how everybody does it. So I don't know how wrong it can be if everyone is doing it this way. Those people who say that it's wrong will tell you it should be with whom. So that's technically the correct English, is with whom will he look over the results? But that isn't a very common way of making the question. Okay, now, so let's stick with who will he look the results over with? Who will he look the results over with? This is our question. Let's change it to reported speech. Okay, in reported speech, you change will to would. So if we add, she asked them, how will you add our question, which is, who will he look the results over with? She asked them who. She asked them who he would. She asked them who he would look. She asked them who he would look the results over with. Oh, that's complicated. Can you do that? She asked them who he would. Mikhail is saying who will look the results over with. You are missing the subject. Okay, so who, because he's the two people in this activity. There's he, and then there's the mystery person who, and you have forgotten to use the mystery person, or the he. Sorry, you've forgotten the he. Who he will look the results over with. Who he will look the results over with. She asked them who he will. Who he will look the results over with. Two people. You have to mention both. Okay. And we can make a contraction with would. She asked them who he'd look the results over with. She asked them, and them, asked them, it sounds like this when people are talking. Asked them. She asked them who he'd. So it's very different from the way it's written. The way it's spoken is very different. She asked him who he'd. She asked him who he'd look the results over with. Okay. All right, let's try another example. Now we have a sentence here, which is, we may continue at the same level our excellent service. So this idea of continue at the same level, or maybe maintain, if you know that word, maintain, means like keep it at the right level. Keep it at this level. Don't go up, don't go down. Keep it right here. Keep it at this level. And there's a very common phrasal verb that we use for this idea of keep things, maintain things, keep them at this level. And that is keep up something. Keep up something. So we have, instead of we may continue at the same level our excellent service, let's use the phrasal verb keep up, which means keep it at this level. Don't go up, don't go down, stay right here. Keep it up, keep it up. Maintain it, don't change it. So we may keep up our excellent service. We may keep up our excellent service. We may keep up our excellent service. Maintain it. Don't go up, don't go down, stay right here. Don't change. We may keep up our excellent service. Now, this is a separable phrasal verb, so we can put the object inside of the verb. Keep our excellent service up. Keep our excellent service up. Keep our excellent service up. We may keep our excellent service up. We may keep our excellent service up. Let's make a how question with this sentence. How? Can you make a how question with this sentence? How? How may we? How may we keep? How may we keep our excellent service? How may we keep our excellent service up? Okay. Now, if you see on the screen, when we were doing this exercise in a class, my student said, when I asked him, make a how question, his original answer was, how do we may keep? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Can you identify a problem with that? If you have the word may, which is a modal, you follow different rules than if you just have a verb like keep. So do, that's a question word that you use for do verbs. But if you have may, just like can or will or might, these are all modals, should, would, could. You make the question differently. So he was combining two different ways of making questions. So we don't say, how do we keep? This is, how may we keep? How may we keep our excellent service up? Okay. And let's change this to reported speech. Let's add, we asked them. We asked them. Now, in reported speech, if you have the word may, you should change it to the word might. So when we do reported speech, when we add, we asked them, or asked them, that's how it sounds usually in spoken English, we asked them, then the answer is we asked them how we might keep our excellent service up. We asked them how we might keep our excellent service up. Okay, let's move on to another example here. Here's a new sentence, which is they always investigate new products at trade shows. They always investigate new products at trade shows. What is a trade show? Trade is like business. So usually we talk about trade as an industry. You have the medical trade, which is the medical business. You have the technology trade, which is the technology business. The food trade or the restaurant trade, which is the food business. And sometimes they have shows where they want to, factories want to sell the latest technology or their latest invention, and they want to show it to people who own restaurants or computer stores or whatever the trade is. And these are called trade shows. Trade shows. So trade is a specific industry. Okay, so let's go back to our sentence, which is they always investigate new products at trade shows. So if maybe they work in the technology industry, they might go to a big building and see all the new latest things that companies are offering for people working in technology, and that is a trade show. What is a phrasal verb, which means like investigate or look at something to see, do I want to buy this? Am I interested? Does this thing interest me? Do I want this thing? That's check out. So when you check something out, you're investigating it to say, can I use this? Do I want to buy it? Is it good for me? Is it useful for me? So let's change our sentence, which is, let's see, they always investigate new products at trade shows, and let's use check out. Let's use the phrasal verb, check out. They always check out new products at trade shows. They always check out new products at trade shows. Now this is a separable phrasal verb. That means that you can take the object and you can put the object inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. They always check new products out. They always check new products out at trade shows. They always check new products out at trade shows. How will you make a basic yes/no question with this sentence? Do they? Do they always? Do they always check new products out? Do they always check new products out at trade shows? Let's answer no. No. No, they. No, they don't. No, they don't always. No, they don't always check out. Or, no, they don't always check new products out. No, they don't always check new products out at trade shows. Let's make a where question. Where check out? Where always check out new products? Where do they? Where do they always? Where do they always check out? Where do they always check new products out? Where do they always check new products out? Okay, now let's change this to a reported speech question. And because we're using simple present, they check out. They always check out. We should change our verb to simple past. He asked her. He asked her. He asked her where they always checked out. He asked her where they always checked out new products. Mikhail is saying that the letters are too small. Let me try to make it bigger. I don't know if this helps. Let's see. Is that better, Mikhail? Can you see that better? I don't think I can make it bigger than this without losing some space. Okay. So we have he asked her where they always checked new products out. Okay. Now, the person I was doing this class with, he is from South America, and this is in the southern part of South America, Uruguay and Argentina, maybe Chile. I'm not sure about Chile. This is a very common problem that they have a trouble saying ja, ja, ja. So we were using the name John, but he couldn't say that. He was saying something like Jean, something like French Jean or Irish Sean, it sounded like, but definitely not John. So the way to imagine saying this, let me just write this. I don't know if this is a problem for you or not. It depends on what kind of language your original language is. Oh, I forgot to put an N. There's an N at the end of that. Oh, I spelled that very badly. Let me try that again. I don't know what I did. Oh, I think the spell check changed it. Yeah. So I wrote it, but then the spell check said, that's not a word. Okay. But to make the CH sound, usually what you have to do is imagine that there's a D in the front. So it's not John, but John. John. You have to start with a D sound. So if your language doesn't have that sound, it could be very difficult to make it. Just imagine a D first. John. John. That's how you fix that problem. Okay, let's get rid of this. All right, let's try another example here. We have, where did it go? She interrupted John. That's our word. She interrupted John during the meeting. She interrupted John during the meeting. Okay. Now there's a phrasal verb which means interrupt. It's very common, and that is cut off. Cut off. Cut off. Cut off. She interrupted John during the meeting. Let's change this sentence using the phrasal verb cut off. Cut off. How would you change it? She cut off John during the meeting. She cut off John during the meeting. Now this is a separable phrasal verb. You can take the object and you can put it inside the verb. So let's do the inside position. She cut John off. She cut John off. She cut John off during the meeting. She cut John off during the meeting. Now let's make a why question with this sentence. Why? Why did she? Why did she cut? Why did she cut John off? Why did she cut John off during the meeting? Why did she cut John off during the meeting? Okay. Now let's do a reported speech question. So our original sentence, she cut John off, that's in the simple past. You change simple past to past perfect. We asked her why. We asked her why she had. We asked her why she had cut John off. We asked her why she had cut John off during the meeting. And we can make a contraction with she had, she'd. We asked her why she'd cut John off during the meeting. We asked her why she'd cut John off during the meeting. All right. Let's move on to another example. Here's a new sentence. We can discuss the details of the project next week. We can discuss the details of the project next week. Okay, now this is the same person from South America. He's from Argentina. And they have a problem with this j sound. Okay, but actually this word is very difficult for most people to pronounce. It doesn't matter if you're from South America or from some other place. This is always a tricky word for people to pronounce because there are a lot of little hidden secret sounds in this word. So let's say, because it's an important word, you'll use it quite a bit at work. So let's say it slowly. Project. 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 We can discuss the details of the project next week. Now, there's a phrasal verb that we can use which means discuss, talk about. Talk over. Talk over. How will you change this sentence using talk over? We can discuss the details of the project next week. We can talk over the details. We can talk over the details of the project. We can talk over the details of the project next week. We can talk over the details of the project next week. Okay, now this is a separable phrasal verb, so we can take the object and put it inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. We can talk the details of the project over. We can talk details of the project over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. Now, we had a little problem when we were doing this because when I asked him to do the inside position, his first answer was, we can talk the details over of the project next week. And this is a problem that you have to think about, is what really is your object? Because if you put the wrong thing inside the verb, it will sound a little bit strange. And that sounds strange. We can talk the details of the project. We can talk the details over of the project next week. The way that you can know if it's correct is if you try to substitute. Okay, what would be the substitution of the details? Is that he, she, it, they? It's them, because it's plural and it's an object. So tell me if you understand this sentence. This is how you know that this is wrong. We can talk them over of the project next week. So if you leave of the project outside of the verb, it doesn't mean anything. It sounds strange. This is how you know of the project belongs inside the verb with everything. Because you can say, we can talk them over next week. We can talk them over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. It matters what you put inside of the phrasal verb. You have to think about that. And that's a pretty tricky thing to do. We can talk them over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. Let's make a yes/no question with that sentence. Can we? Can we talk them? Can we talk them over? Can we talk them over next week? Let's answer no. No, we can't. No, we can't talk them. No, we can't talk them over. No, we can't talk them over. No, we can't talk them over next week. Okay, let's make a when question. When can we? When can we? When can we talk? When can we talk them over? 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 Now, let's change this to reported speech. When you have a reported speech situation, you change can to could. They asked us. They asked us when we could. They asked us when we could talk them over. They asked us when we could talk them over. They asked us when we could talk them over. Okay, let's try another example. Here's a new sentence. He put in the garbage the old printer. He put in the garbage the old printer. Now, what is the phrasal verb that you can use which means put something in the garbage? Throw away. Throw away. He put in the garbage the old printer. Try to change that sentence using the phrasal verb throw away. He threw away the old printer. He threw away. Now, if you say threw away, that's a lot of vowel sounds together. Listen to me say that very slowly. Threw away. The W has a sound. It's W. Ooh, ooh. Threw away. It's really hard to say. Threw away. Threw away. He threw away the old printer. Okay, well, this is a separable phrasal verb. So we can take the object and put it inside the verb. Let's do that. How would you try to say the sentence with the object and the inside position? He threw the old printer away. He threw the old printer away. Threw the old printer away. Let's make a why question with that sentence. Why? Why did he? Why did he? Why did he? Why did he throw? Why did he throw the old printer away? Why did he throw the old printer away? Why did he throw the old printer away? Now, let's change this to a reported speech situation. In the original sentence, he threw the old printer away, we have the simple past. In reported speech, you change simple past to past perfect. Had thrown. She asked me. She asked me why. She asked me why he had. Why he had. Why he had. Why he had. She asked me why he had thrown the old printer away. She asked me why he had thrown the old printer away. All right. Let's move on to our next sentence. For some reason, I guess I don't remember what happened here, but there must have been a difficulty in pronouncing the word unfavorable. So let's just go through that very quickly. Unfavorable. 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 I don't remember why he was having trouble with that word. What do you think? Is that easy or difficult to pronounce? Unfavorable. Seems easy to me. Okay, so now let's try a new sentence here, which is, she will omit the unfavorable information. She will omit the unfavorable information. So if you speak a Latin language, like a language from Latin, like Italian or Spanish or Portuguese or French, then probably you know the word omit. But if you don't speak a Latin language, it could mean like not include. So when you say she will omit the unfavorable information, that means she will not include the unfavorable information. She will not tell people. She will censor the unfavorable information. And you can use the word omit in English. It's perfectly fine. But most of the time, I think we would prefer to use the phrasal verb leave out. Leave out means not include. Don't include. So let's change this sentence. She will omit the unfavorable information. But let's use the phrasal verb leave out. How will you change that sentence? She will leave out. She'll leave out. She'll leave out. She'll leave out the unfavorable information. She'll leave out the unfavorable information. This is a separable phrasal verb, so you can put the object inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. She will leave the unfavorable information out. She'll leave the unfavorable information out. Okay, and now let's make a how leave out question. How? How leave out? How will she? How will she leave out? How will she leave the unfavorable information out? Listen to how this would sound in conversational English. How will she? How will she? How will she? How will she leave it out? Leave it out. Leave it out. How will she leave it out? How will she leave it out? Okay, I guess that's when our class finished because that's the final part of this. I know that this is the start of a new class here, and this is an advanced person. This next class is with an advanced person, and her issue is pronunciation. So most of the next part of this video will be about pronunciation. Okay. Let's start with these two words here. Okay, can you see word number 1 and number 2? Now, to her, when she said these two words, they sounded exactly the same. I don't know if you know word number 1. Word number 1 is the sound of a dog or a wolf. Ow, that's howling. Howl. That's number 1. See, actually, she was telling me on the weekend that she visited an animal sanctuary with her son. So that's why we were talking about the word howl. That's the sound of an animal. Ow, like a dog or a wolf or something like that. That's howling. And number 2 is ho. You probably know that word, ho. Okay, but they sound very different to me. They're very different sounding words to me. Not to her. Hopefully now they are, but they before they weren't. Listen to me say number 1 very slowly. Howl. 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 Compare that to number 2. Ho. Hole. 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 Number 1. Howl. Number 2. Hole. Let's try to say it quickly. Number 1. Howl. Number 2. Hole. Number 1. Howl. Number 2. Hole. Okay, Mikhail is saying goodbye. Goodbye, Mikhail. Hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Enjoy watching your game. Okay. Can you hear the difference between number 1, howl, and number 2, hole? Remember, howl is the sound of a dog or a wolf. Ow! Okay, let's see. All right. So we were reading a medical related article, pretty advanced English, and we were focusing on pronunciation. And her issue is that she pronounces the sounds well. Okay, so she produces the sounds well, but she doesn't give enough time to some of the vowel sounds. And this makes it very hard to understand what she's saying sometimes. So most of our class is focused on, is that a long sound or a short sound? And it's actually a very useful thing. If you're pretty advanced, and the one thing where you have trouble is that people don't understand you, this could be one of the major reasons why. So let's play along with this for a while. Okay. So here we have a phrase. These are phrases from the article. We're not going to read the article. I don't want to get in copyright trouble. But these are words from the article where we practiced the pronunciation. Okay, so our first phrase is not just in the mind. Not just in the mind. Not just in the. Let's just think about the vowel sounds here. Okay, we're only thinking about vowel sounds. Not just. Not just. So those two vowel sounds there What do you think about them? Are they long or short sounds? We're talking about duration. We're not talking about the physical aspect of it, but just the duration. Is it short or is it long? Not just. Not just. To me, it's short and then long. Not. Not. But then just. Not just. Not just. If you want to sound more natural, this is one of the ways that will definitely help you sound more natural. Paying attention to the length of the vowel sounds. Can you hear the difference? Not just. Not just. Now let's look at the next two words. In the. In the. What do you think about the two vowel sounds in that phrase? In the. In the. Are they long or short in duration? I think they're both short. Very, very short. In the. Not just in the. Not just in the. Not just in the. Can you hear the length? It really matters, because if you could be a little bit flexible with some of the vowel sounds and their length. It depends on their position in the sentence or the stress. But in general, you should try to be very consistent with them. If you can do that, you will sound more natural, definitely. Not just in the. Try to say it like that. Short, long, short, short. Not just in the. Okay, and then let's look at the next word, which is mind. What do you think about that one? Is that a long sound or a short sound? Duration. We're only talking about the duration here. Mind. Oh, that's really long. That's a couple of sounds. That's mind. That's like 3 sounds in there. It has to be long. Not just in the mind. Not just in the mind. Short, long, short, short, long. Not just in the mind. Okay, we'll continue with this in a second. I just have to take a 1-minute break, and I'll be right back, okay? All right, we're back. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep going. So we are focusing on pronunciation in this part of the class. And it could be a little bit tedious, but if you want to sound more natural, if you want to improve your pronunciation, if you want to sound better, this is probably the thing that you really need. So let's practice, okay? Let's keep going. We have the next phrase, which is, it's often assumed. It's often assumed. It's often assumed. Let's start with the word it's. It's. What do you think about that vowel sound in the beginning? It's. It's. Is that long or short? It's. It's. It's short. That's really short. Often. Often. What do you think about that? 2 vowel sounds. 2 vowel sounds. Tell me about the duration. What do you think about the first one? Often. Aw. That's like 3 sounds. Oh, oh, ooh, aw. 4. Oh, aw, and then fin. Often, 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 often. It's often. Try to say that. That's short, long, short. Short, long, short. It's often. It's often. Okay, let's take a look at the next word. Assumed. 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 Two sounds. Are they long or short? Assumed. Assumed. It's often assumed. That's short, long. Short, short, long. Short, long. Assumed. It's often assumed. It's often assumed. It's short, long, short, short, long. It's often assumed. Okay, let's take a look at the next phrase. Teta. Teta. What do you think about that? Is that long or short? If it were long, it would be teta. But it's not. It's teta. 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 It's often assumed teta. Short, short. It's often assumed teta. It's often assumed teta. And now we have placebo effect. Placebo effect. Placebo. Placebo. What do you think about that? Three vowel sounds in there. Placebo. Placebo. That's short, long, long. Short, long, long. Placebo. Placebo. Okay, now the next word I think is difficult. Effect. Effect. I think that's hard for me. Even for me, that's hard. I think it's short and then long. Effect. I think that's pretty long, that second one. Effect. Placebo effect. Placebo effect. It's funny because when you say the words together, the O from placebo and the eh from effect combine. So actually, it just becomes one very long vowel sound. Placebo effect. So I think everything becomes long, except for pla. Pla is short, but then everything becomes long in that phrase. Placebo effect. Placebo effect. Placebo effect. That the placebo effect, try to say that. Short, 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 long, 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 long. That the placebo effect. Okay. And then we had a problem, a pronunciation issue come up. The word that we wanted to say was number one. But when she was talking, it sounded like she was saying number two. But actually, those two words are very different. For me, let's look at number one. How do you say number one? Purely. E-E-U. Pew. Pew. Pure. E-E-U. Purely. Purely. Let's compare that to number two. Poorly. So that's po-war. War. So that middle sound is war. Poor. Poor. Poorly. Poorly. Number one is purely. E-E-U. Purely. And number two is poorly. Poorly. Say number one. Purely. Purely. Say number two. Poorly. Poorly. Can you hear the difference? Can you say the difference? Okay, let's see. Our next word is imaginary. Imaginary. Imagine. Let's start there. It's hard. It's hard for me. Imagine. So that's short, long, short. Imagine. Imagine. Nary. What do you think about those two sounds? Nary. Nary. Long, long. Long, long. Imaginary. That's a hard word to say. Imaginary. Imaginary. Okay, let's see. Imaginary. All right. Then we were reading the article, and in the article we had this abbreviation, this Latin abbreviation, i.e., which means that is, or for example. And when you see that in a paper or in an article or something like that, you just read it i.e. So sometimes that could happen if you're reading something. Uh, it's Latin. It's Latin for id est, and the translation is that is, but it really means like for example. Okay, let's keep going. Nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed. Okay, so we've got the word nothing, nothing, nothing. I think those are two short sounds. Nothing, 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 nothing. Has, nothing has. What do you think about has? Is that a long sound or a short sound? Has. I think that's pretty long. Nothing has. Nothing has. Try practice saying it like that. Nothing has. So that's short, short, long. Short, short, long. Nothing has. Really, really. What do you think about those two vowel sounds? Really, really. Those are two long sounds. Two long sounds. Nothing has really changed. Changed. Now, there's really only one vowel sound in that final word. And this is a word that it's pretty difficult for some people to pronounce. So we have a little help here. Chain. If you can you say chain? Chain. But then we have to put this awkward sound at the end. Change. Change. Changed. Changed. And what do you think about that vowel sound in the middle of the word? Do you think that that is long in duration or short in duration? Changed. Oh, that's long. That's clearly long. Nothing has really changed. Nothing. Nothing has. So that's short, short, long. Nothing has. And then long, long. Nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed. Okay. Then we have inda. 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 What do you think about that? Is that long or short? Inda. What are those sounds? Inda. They're both short. Short, short. Inda. 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 And then we got into a discussion about the next word. Nothing has really changed in the body. And she was not sure, oh, is it long or short or long? So we tried pronouncing them in all the different combinations. So let's take a look at that for a minute. If we made both of the sounds in number one short, it should sound like this. Body, 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 body. If we made them both long, it would sound like this. Body, 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 body. If we did long and short, it would sound like number three. Body, body. If we did short long, it would sound like this. Body, body. Which one do you think it is? Which one do you think sounds best? Number one, number two, number three, number four. Number one, body. Number two, body. Number three, body. Number four, body. I'm getting confused. It's hard to do. It's number four. Number four would be the best way to say it. Body, body, body. Okay, now let's take a look at the next phrase here. But the mind perceives. But the mind perceives. What do you think about that? Those first two words, pata, pata. Are those long or short sounds, the vowel sounds? Pata, pata. Those are short, short, short. Pata. Okay, let's look at the next word, mind. What about that? Is that long or short in duration? Mind. Oh, that's long. That's a couple of sounds. That's ai. Ai. That has to be long. Ai. but the mind, but the mind, short, short, long, but the mind. Let's look at the final word, perceives, perceives, perceives. Two sounds, two vowel sounds. Are they long or short? Perceive. First one is short, per. Second one is very long, sieves, perceives. But the mind perceives. Try to say it like that. Short, short, long, short, long. But the mind perceives. But the mind perceives. Okay, and our next phrase, an improvement. An improvement. N. What is that? Is that long or short? N. That's short. That's short. Improve. Let's start with the word improve. 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 Improve it. What about that first vowel sound? Im. Is that short or long? It's short. Improve. What about the second one? I hope this is becoming obvious to you. Improve. It's very long. It's very long. Improvement. What about mint? Is that short or long? That's short. So the word improvement is short, long, short. Improvement. Improvement. An improvement. Can you say that? An improvement. Let's go back. But the mind perceives an improvement. Try to say that. But the mind, short, short, long, but the mind perceives, short, long, but the mind perceives an improvement. The mind perceives an improvement. It seems little, it seems like a small thing that we're doing. But if you can understand this, and you can start to be mindful of it and try to practice it in real life, you will notice a very big improvement. And people will stop saying, "What? Huh?" It's very important, but it's a thing that people don't notice. It's very hard to notice this. It's very hard to perceive. Okay, let's try more. And yet, and yet, and yet. Mikhail is asking or saying buddy means a fellow. It's very strange that you're asking that question, Mikhail, because I think that's part of my exercise later, talking about the word fellow. No, buddy means friend. So buddy is a very informal word, and it means friend. And fellow, it means like guy or person. You only use it for men. You don't really use it for women, but it means person. So that fellow in the black suit, that guy in the black suit, that man in the black suit. Fellow means like man, usually. But buddy means friend. So you can't say that buddy in the black suit. Unless he's your friend, then I guess you can. Okay, so we've got this phrase, and yet, and yet, and yet. That A is long. And yet. I want it to be short, but it's long. And yet. Yet. Now, if you just said et, that would definitely be short. Mikhail is asking, what is the difference between body and buddy, the sound? Let's put that up on the screen. That's a really good question. Let me just drag this up here. Okay. It's really hard sometimes to explain the difference between the different vowel sounds. Sometimes they seem very similar. And a lot of people have problems with these two sounds. how they're different. So the best way I think that I can explain it to you is if you want to say buddy, you should try to eat the vowel. Okay? That means you should feel like pushing down. Okay, you're not pushing out air. It's like you're eating air. You should feel some pressure going down. Buddy. You should feel like the air going down. And if you want to say the word body, you should be spitting it out. Body. There should be some air actually coming out. Body. Buddy. Body. So buddy, you eat. Don't eat your buddy. And body, you spit out. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's go back. So we have and yet. Okay, when you're saying the word yet, if you just had et, that would be short. But this y sound, y is actually, when you think about it, it's like yet. So you have yet. That's very long. It's very long. And yet, long, and yet, as Freud showed, what do you think about as? Is that long or short? As Freud, we don't really need to practice that word too much, but it's many different sounds. Freud. It's like 4 vowel sounds. It's very long. As Freud. But then this word showed. What do you think about that vowel sound in there? Showed. Oh, that's so long. Showed. As Freud showed. Okay, let's move on to the next phrase. Over a century ago. Over. So we've got 2 vowel sounds there. Over. What is the first vowel sound? Is that long or short? Over. That's very long. Over. It's 2 sounds. Over. And then the second vowel sound is short. Over. What about the word a? Is that long or short? Over a. That's short. Over a century. Over a sen. What about sen? Is that long or short? Sen. Over a sen. That's short. Okay. Now we have this U sound, a long U sound, which is like 3 sounds. It's e, u. EU. Combined with a T, it sounds like chew. Chew. Century. What about those last 2 sounds? Century. Those are 2 long sounds. Over a century. Can you say that phrase, concentrating on the length of the vowel sounds? Over a century. Short, long, century. Short, long, century. Over a century ago. Long, short. Short, long. Short, long, ago. Over a century ago. Over a century ago. Right, let's see. There seem to be few limits. There. Now, this is an interesting one, the word there. What do you think about that sound in the middle, that vowel sound? There. That's very long. And in some types of English in the UK or maybe in Australia, they don't pronounce the R at the end of a word. So you might hear there. And the only way that you know the word is because of the vowel sound. It should be a very complicated and long sound. It's not that. It's not like the. What if we compare? I think I did this in my last class too, my last YouTube live class that we talked about. These two words. Wait, let me put a number up here. So we've got number 1. It's useful though, especially, yeah, I mean, if you're in North America, it doesn't matter too much because you have the final sound. But if you go to other places where they don't pronounce R's at the end of the word, this becomes important. Okay. Let's say number 1. Number 1 is da, da, da. That's very short. It's a very short, simple. It's a very simple sound. Da. Okay. But when we say number 2, I'll say it very slowly. There. It's a very complicated, long sound. There. It's kind of like e-i-a. There. Yeah, it's e-i-a. There. 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 Number 1, da. Number 2, there. Now, that's important because if you go to the UK or to Australia in certain parts, most parts, they probably will not pronounce the R. So number 2 will just be there. See, that's the difference between number 1. Number 1, da. Number 2, there. Number 2, there. Number 1, da. So this length of vowel sound and the complexity of the vowel sound is very important in English. Okay, so we have there seem to be. These are all long. These are not short. There seem, it's very long. There seem to be. Few, these are all long. These are all long sounds. There seem to be few. Savioro Fanatolia says hi. Hi, Savioro. I hope I said your name correctly. There seem to be few. There seem to be few. These are all long sounds. Now the final sound, the final word, limit. Limit. What do you think about those verb sounds? Those vowel sounds. Limit. Are those long or short? Limit. Those are short. Limit. So all of the vowel sounds are long. There seem to be few limits. Long, 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 short, short. There seem to be few limits. There seem to be few limits. Okay, so I think that was the end of our pronunciation class. And then we moved on to, okay, this is a more, I'm just going to put up my advanced sign here. So this is more advanced English, okay? So it's not pronunciation, although we probably will talk a little bit about pronunciation, but this is more advanced grammar. Or upper intermediate, maybe. Okay, here is a sentence which is, we have counted on a tax advisor to help us since 2023. We've counted on a tax advisor to help us since 2023. Now, there are certain words in English that are so common that we don't really like to say the long sound. If I say the word to, that's a very long sound. But that word to is very common in English. And people who speak English are lazy. So to becomes da in a sentence. Short, da. Counted on a advisor to help us, to help us. Counted on a tax advisor to help us, da. So to, in spoken English and conversational English, that very long sound becomes just da. Counted on a tax advisor to help us, to help us, to help us since 2023. Okay. Now, I asked this person, we were working on something else. This is like the middle of an exercise, actually. So I think we finished in one class and then we started again here. And I asked this person, is this an active voice sentence or a passive voice sentence? And the person said, oh, I don't know. I forgot. So we defined the difference between active and passive voice. An active voice sentence, let me just try to recenter this. An active voice sentence is a focus on the source of an action, the cause of an action, or the subject, focus on the subject. And a passive voice sentence is a focus on the object, or a focus on the result, or focus on the effect. Oh, okay. And he had a problem with making the passive voice, so we started practicing the passive voice. So I guess now that's what we're going to do. We're going to practice changing active voice sentences into passive voice sentences. So here is so forget about the exercise we started. We're going to start doing passive voice. Here is a sentence. They will fix the telephone system tomorrow. They will fix the telephone system tomorrow. Now this is an active voice sentence, which is the typical sentence in English. You focus on the source of the action, the subject of the action. But sometimes we don't care about who is doing the action. We only care about the result. We only care about the effect. So we want to take the object and put it in the front of the idea. In our sentence, they will fix the telephone system. What is the object? The telephone system. So we'll put that in the front. Okay. I've never done this on a live class where I can't write. So this will be hard to do. Let's see if we can do it. Okay. Let's just take a look at this sentence. They will fix the telephone system. And what is the verb in that sentence? The verb is will fix. Will fix. And the principal verb, the main verb, is fix. Now let's go up here and let's see if you can see this. What color is the verb to fix? What color is the verb to fix? So in our sentence, they will fix. These are your options. Is fix red, green, blue, purple, or brown? Which one is it? They will fix. Is that red, green, blue, purple, or brown? It's brown. It's number 5. It's like to fix, but no to. Okay, it's not red. It's not fixes. And there's no to with it, okay? That's a very difficult thing for people to grasp, okay? So what happens when you make a passive voice sentence? You always take the principal verb, okay? Our verb is will fix. Will tells us about the time. Fix is the principal verb. Fix is really the action. You always change the principal verb to blue. What is the blue form of fix? Fixed. Fixed. That's difficult for people to pronounce. What you do is you say fix, stop, t, fix, t, fix, t, fixed, fixed. You always take the principal verb and you change it to blue. Okay, so let's go down to our sentence. Where is it? Okay. So look, we change fix to fixed because you always change the principal verb to blue. But now we are missing the brown color. We're missing brown. Because remember, in the original sentence, they will fix the telephone system. Fix is brown. But when you make a passive voice sentence, you change the principal verb to blue, fixed. So we need something brown after will. So we use the verb to be. What is the brown form of the verb to be? It's be. It's be. So our passive voice sentence is the telephone system will be fixed tomorrow. Telephone system will be fixed tomorrow. Okay, I know that's hard. But let's try another one. Okay, we have he planned the strategy last week. He planned the strategy last week. What is the verb in that sentence? Planned. Oh, well, it's planned. What color is it? Sorry, getting distracted. We planned the strategy last week. Look at the chart. What color is planned? Is it blue or is it green? Oh, it's green. It has to be green. If it were blue, it would have other things too, because blue is not a verb alone. Okay, so he planned the strategy last week. We have green planned. Okay, but what happens if you want to make a passive voice sentence? If you want to focus on the subject, if you want to focus on the object. Oh, I've been going for 2 hours. I guess I'm getting a little tired. I think we're almost finished though. So I'm going to try to fight it out, okay? Let's start over. Okay, so our sentence is he planned the strategy last week. If you want to focus on the object, what is the object in that sentence? He planned the strategy. The strategy is the object. If you want to make a passive voice sentence, if you want to focus on the object, then you take the principal verb, it's the only verb here, planned, and you must change it to blue. You always change the principal verb to blue. What is the blue form of planned? It's the same, it's planned. But now the problem is we are missing green, because in the original sentence, he planned the strategy. Planned is green. And because we're making it passive, we change planned to blue. We're missing green, and we use the verb to be to take its place. What is the green form of the verb to be? In this case, it will be was. The strategy was planned last week. The strategy was planned last week. Let's try another sentence. Let's make another passive voice sentence. We will train the new employees in the meeting room. We will train the new employees in the meeting room. Okay, this is an active voice sentence. What is the object of this sentence? The new employees. Okay, let's change it to passive. Let's focus on the new employees. Okay, so we'll start with the new employees, and now we have to make some changes. So what is the verb in the sentence? We will train the new employees in the meeting room. What is the verb in that sentence? Will train. Will just tells us about the time. Will just helps us to understand the time. The real verb, the principal verb here, is train. What form of train are we using? What color is train? Is it red? Look at the chart. Is it red? Is it green? Is it blue? Is it purple? Is it brown? Will train. In the original sentence, the verb is brown. Okay, but when you make a passive voice sentence, you always take the main verb and you must change it to blue. What is the blue form of the verb train? It's trained. Okay, so let's take a look down here. The new employees. Now we have trained in blue. We have the blue form of trained. So we have will trained, but we're missing the brown now. You always need something brown after will. And that's why we have to use the verb to be here. We have to find the brown form of the verb to be. What is the brown form of the verb to be? Oh, it's be. So our passive voice sentence is the employees will be trained. The new employees will be trained. The new employees will be trained in the meeting room. Okay, and then the person I was doing this with had a problem because it sounded like he was saying employers. Remember that in some types of English, it's not really important to pronounce an R. So really the only big difference between word number one, employees, and employers is the vowel sound. So let's take a look at number one, employees. Is that a long sound or a short sound at the end? Employees. That's very long, very hard sound. Employees. What about number two, employers? Employers. It's still long because you have ears, the Y. You have that Y there, so it's ears. But that for the ending is very short. Employers. Employers. Number one is employees. And number two is employers. Employers. Okay, so let's continue with another example here. Here's a new sentence. You announced the new plans in front of everyone. You announced the new plans in front of everyone. What is the object in that sentence? You announced the new plans in front of everyone. The new plans. The new plan. So if we want to focus on the object, the result, the effect, let's put that in the front. The new plans. Now, if we want to change this to passive voice, you always take the principal verb and you change it to blue. Okay? What is the principal verb in the sentence, you announced the new plans? It's announced. And in the original sentence, it's green. And we have to change it to blue. What is the blue form of announced? It's announced again. Okay, so that's pretty easy. But the reason I'm doing these colors is to show you that now we are missing a color. We are missing green because in the original sentence, the idea is green. It's not blue, it's green. So we have to put something in front of the principal verb in green to maintain the sentence. And we use the verb to be. What is the green form of the verb to be? It's was or were. Now we have the new plans, so let's say were. The new plans were announced. The new plans were announced in front of everyone. The new plans were announced in front of everyone. Okay, then we had a pronunciation issue. We were talking. Why did this happen? Keys. Oh, because the person I was working with, he wanted to say a piece of advice, a piece of advice. But, and he was a Spanish speaker. He was having difficulty. It wasn't clear to me if he was saying number one or number two. It sounded like he was saying peas, which is a vegetable or a bean, a legume. Peas, little green balls. But it sounded like he was saying bees. Now, there are two differences between the word peace and bees, but let's focus on the beginning of the sound. The only difference between the letter P and the letter B is that if you say a P, there should be a big explosion of air. That's a P. So if you want to pronounce number one, you have to make sure you're pushing out a lot of air. Peas. Can you hear that? Peas. That's number one. And number two, a B is exactly the same physically, except there is no air. Bees, bees, bees. So number one, peas. I'm exaggerating for you. Peas. And number 2, bees. You eat the air, you don't push it out. Bees. So it's exactly the same physically, except one you spit out and one you eat. Number 1, peas. Number 2, bees. There is another big difference, because really the word that we were talking about was peace. A piece of advice. And that final sound, s, that's the sound of a snake. That's what a snake says. S. So if you want to say peace, you spit out the air, and you also have to sound like a snake. Peace. Peace. And number 2, bees, is the sound of a bee. It's the sound of an insect. Zzz. Bees. So number 1 is peace, and number 2 is bees. So there are actually 2 big differences between those words. Okay, then we started reading an article about Elon Musk. And it said that when he was a child, the other kids bullied him. I'm not sure. Oh, it's funny because earlier we were talking about passive voice, and he was not familiar with bully as a verb. He knew the noun bully, but he didn't understand this sentence. And it turns out that this was because in the article it said he was bullied by the other kids, and which is really the passive voice form of the other kids bullied him. So in the original sentence, the other kids bullied him. The other kids bullied him. We have green bully. So let's take a look at our chart. So we've got down at the bottom, we've got bully, bullies, bullied, bullied. So we've got green bullied. So the other kids bullied him. This is an active voice sentence. The focus is on the other kids doing the action. But if we want to focus on the boy receiving the bullying, we can start with he. He. Now, bullied is green in the original sentence, but what do you always do with a passive voice sentence? You always change the principal verb to blue. So he bullied. Okay, but now we're missing the green, we're missing that green element, because remember the original sentence is the other kids bullied him. The principal verb is green. So we're going to use the verb to be in its green form. What is the green form of the verb to be? Was. So he was bullied. He was bullied by the other kids. Okay, that's kind of the end. I can't, can I make this go down? No, I'm trying to show you the bottom of the page. It doesn't scroll down. Let's see if I can refocus it, because this is the end here. Oh, now this guy, he was living in Peru. He lives in Peru, and I was asking him about the weather in Peru, and he was saying that he likes the weather where he lives, and then he used the phrase, "It suits me. The weather suits me." So I just thought that I would mention that. In the article, I don't remember where in the article it said this, but it said a great deal of something. I don't remember what that meant. But I asked this student, I said, what does that mean, a great deal of? And he said, oh, that's if you receive a good discount. You receive a good deal, which is true. A great deal could mean you saving money, maybe. But this is a great deal of, and it's a very common phrase. And this is a pretty advanced guy. He didn't know this, so maybe you don't know this. But a great deal of plus a noun could mean a lot of. I think it has to be, mostly you use it with uncountable nouns, I think. So let's just take a look. We've got buying a new car costs a great deal of money. That just means a lot of money. Buying a new car costs a lot of money. There was a great deal of talk. about the new employee. That means there was a lot. There was a lot of talk about the new employee. This is a very common phrase. I ate a great deal of food last night. I ate a lot of food last night. That's all it means. Then we have the word harsh. I think the article we were reading was about Elon Musk and his childhood, and it said that his father was very harsh with him. And harsh can mean like hard or difficult or unpleasant. Extreme in a bad way, I think, is the best way to use harsh. So if something is harsh, it's extreme and bad. So harsh weather, that could be like very cold or very extreme weather in a bad way. It could also be very hot. In the Sahara Desert, there's very harsh weather. That's hot. In Alaska, there's very harsh weather. That's extreme cold. So this word harsh means bad or extreme. He was in Peru, so the example that we used was living in the Andes can be a harsh life, a difficult life, an extreme life. And then finally, we had a pronunciation issue with the word however. And again, I can't stress to you enough how important the vowel sounds are. And if you're having pronunciation problems and you can manage to fix your vowel issues, your pronunciation will improve by millions. It really will. Because it's usually where all the problems are. So let's just take a look at all of these long sounds. However, it's mostly vowel sounds, that word. However. 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 All right. Well, that's the end of the class for today. Thank you, everybody who stayed until the end. And I hope that I will see you again soon. Okay? I'll see you when I make another list of things for my class. I'll do another one. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.